Hi guys. Still waiting for a little bit. Hi guys. Still waiting for a little bit. Hi Jennifer. How are you? I just notify the others that we're live now. So just give me a second. Yeah, Danielle is unfortunately ill. And hopefully she's not asleep and is watching now or is listening in. I'm all right. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm sorry I had a little bit technical difficulties. My computer made an update and all my files were gone, but luckily I did store them on my... I'm not sleeping. Hi, Canadian Mama. You all right? Yeah, I had to move everything from my phone to my computer again. It was updating without my permission, basically. So yeah, I'll be alone tonight. Hi, Loretta. Hi, Sarah. I'll be alone tonight. So yeah, we'll get this started anyway. I'm not doing so much on the autopsies since Danielle is quite an expert concerning the autopsies, but I do have one little thing I want to share with you guys. But yeah, hopefully next week when she feels better, she has an allergic reaction to something and does really feel horrible, can't talk, and her jawbone is kind of like locked. She reacted to something allergic she ate. So yeah, I think we're getting this together. Yeah, I hope she's feeling better soon. So yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna share my screen with you. Today it's about the Wisconsin confession. He obviously lied about in the Wisconsin confession. And some things he said what makes no sense at all. So I'm just gonna share my screen with you now to show you the presentation. Hi, Irvin. So there you go. Let's make it. All right, then today is about the Wisconsin confession. Like I said, was it revenge? Why the Wisconsin confession was a lie? And what this has to do with the autopsies? Well, basically, like I said, I'm gonna do one little thing about Shanann's eyes with you. I read up, but everything else I do in the next live, which goes more into detail about the autopsies, obviously. But since Danielle is ill, so I have no clue about autopsies or medical stuff, so I don't want to bullshit you guys, basically. So yeah, I rather wait till she's fit to join again. Clean my house, yeah. Thanks, Irvin. Yeah, I cleaned my house today too. My daughter's birthday was yesterday, so cleaned up and removed all the leftovers. So let's get started. So, like I always do, a little disclaimer. As always, this video does not serve the purpose of incriminating or exonerating someone. Everything that has been said or shown in this video is publicly available in the Discovery and on various news channels. My sources are Google, the videos I got from Denver 7, and the screenshots you find all in the Discovery, on Frederick Police Department evidence footage, and on the CBI. And the messages about the dream I'm going to show you, I have off Reddit. So if you just type in Google Reddit dream Sarah, I can't tell her last name, but Sarah, it will come up. So you guys can read it all. So chapter 1 would be the Wisconsin confession lie. So in December of 2019, Diane Hughes discovered something on Nate's surveillance tape showing Watts picking up something. Some see the shadow of a child, some don't. I personally don't. I put that out there in my first video I made for you guys. So just watch this if you want to know more about the shadows. Keep in mind that Nate's security camera is a motion activated camera and it records with a delay of 10 seconds. It also does run on a very low speed. So it's not like it's a normal camera. It's the same as you would slow down a YouTube video or something, runs on the same thing. So hi Andrea, hi guys, hope you're all right. Well, if I don't say hi to you guys, it's not that I ignore you, it's just because I'm basically watching the chat on my phone and being live on my laptop, so should be all right. All right. So according to Chris Watts, his family plays him videos on the phone and tells him what's going on the internet. When CBI visited CW in Wisconsin, he was aware of the video, so of the surveillance footage. So Graham is one of the investigators or agents of CBI, and he asks him questions like, is there a reason you would feel uncomfortable to tell me that they were not alive, meaning the children, at that point? And Watts, no, it wasn't there was a video or anything. And Graham's response with, it's hard to see. So he knows there is a video of Bella obviously getting out of the garage and walking into his arms, but I have a little clip for you guys.
Wasn't it a video or anything? It's hard to see. Okay.
Yeah, so basically he asks him, is there a reason, they would not be alive? And he's like, oh, there's a video or anything, so he's well aware that there is a video. Hi, Kelly. Yeah, Danielle will feel better in no time. Saw the shadow for the first time late night. You mean you saw a shadow or you did not see a shadow? So let's move on. So the Wisconsin lie. On February the 3rd, 2019, a girl named Sarah, like I said, I don't know her last name, from the UK, she's from the UK, posted a dream she had about the Watts in a Facebook group. So a former friend of the Watts family who happened to be a member of this Facebook group forwarded Sarah's dream to Chris Watts' family. And please note, when I show you this, the date is written differently in Europe. In America, it's month, day, and the year. And in Europe, we do the day first, then the month, and then the year. So you can see basically on the left side, I put up her dream. And it's dated the 3rd of February, 2019. She explains the dream she has. I'm going more into detail in a minute. So this is just her dream, the note of her dream, basically. So a former friend of the Watts family forwarded this to Chris Watts, and I also show you how we know that she forwarded it. So I'm going to read you her dream. And on the right side, I have basically his confession so we can see how he lied. So on the 3rd of February 2019, she's saying, I had the weirdest dream last night. Sometimes I have dreams about things that are going on or have happened. It's a long one, very scary. Shanann got home and Chris was in the front room. They immediately started arguing about the credit card charge. He tells her he doesn't think they are compatible anymore, and she tells him they can work it out, talking over him. So what his confession basically says, he had used his credit card when he went out for dinner with Kessinger because he didn't have another Anadarko gift card and couldn't ask Kessinger to pay. He felt like going out on Saturday evening with Kessinger and using their credit card was going to be the last straw. He did not feel like he and Shanann were compatible with each other. So he basically uses the same words Sarah used in her dream in his confession. You guys can all listen to the confession if you want. It's like 5 hours long, and I wouldn't want to bore you with going over the confession again and again, you know. So the next part, she says, this is Sarah's dream again. They go to bed separately. Her upstairs, him in the basement. He's just dozing off when Shanann comes into his room. He says how much she still loves him and how she misses him so much recently. Her heart hurts. And will he come to their bed and just hold her tight? They bicker for a little bit, and then he agrees because she's pregnant and exhausted. Once upstairs, she initiates sex. He goes along with it in a last-ditch effort to see if he has any feelings at all left for her. So his confession would be, Shanann started rubbing her hand on his leg or chest, and they had sexual intercourse. Watts said he and Shanann had sexual intercourse at approximately 2:30 a.m. He felt like sex with Shanann was more of a test. So here again, exactly the same thing Sarah is saying in her dream. So we continue with Sarah's dream. She falls asleep. CW stays awake for a bit, brooding on stuff and trying to figure out what he's going to do. Eventually, he falls asleep too. His confession, he and Shanann fell asleep after they had sex. Sarah's dream. When he wakes up, she's already awake. She attempts to initiate sex again, and he gets on top. And in that moment, he realizes he can't do it and that he doesn't want to do it. He shouts at her that he doesn't love her anymore and he wants a divorce. He says he only wants the girls. She turns around and says he'll never see his kids again. His confession says he believed Shanann initially thought he wanted to have sex with her again since he was on top of her. He told Shanann he didn't think their marriage was going to work. He told Shanann he didn't love her, and Shanann said, "You're never gonna see the kids again. You're never gonna see them again. Get off me. Don't hurt the baby." So here again, the same thing. Then back to Sarah's dream. Bella, awoken by the shouting, walks in clutching a pink blanket. She's happy to see her mom, who tells her to go back to bed. She cries because she says she misses her and wants a hug. Shanann beckons her over and she climbs onto the bed. Then Chris, in his confession, says they had something with them when what they carried. One of them had like Cece, Bella had a blanket or something with them, like a pink blanket. So here again, you see he is basically just telling them Sarah's dream. Chris starts getting dressed and Shanann is crying, mascara running down her face. This is the same thing Chris says in her confession. Shanann didn't take off her bra and didn't wash her face before she got into the bed, so she had mascara running down her face. Go on to the next bit. This girl, obviously, that was February, and since Chris never really admitted to killing the children. Sarah thinks that he is that basically Shanann had killed the girl. So she's saying he hears a noise and thinks it's Shanann putting Bella back to bed. He feels terrible about not being in love with her anymore and heads back upstairs to talk to her again. When he gets in the bedroom, she's not there, and he looks at the monitor to see if she's in Bella's room. Bella appears asleep again. He presumes Cece has woken up, so he waits till the monitor cycles to her room. He sees Shanann attacking Cece with her hand on her neck. He goes in and drags her off, and she falls on the floor. He shouts at her, "What have you done?" And she says in a quiet voice, "They're gone, you'll never see them again." He goes to Cece and moves her to wake her up. No response. He lifts her arm and drops it. Still no response and no breath. Shanann walks out of the room and into the bedroom. She comes back out with her phone and tells him she's going to phone the police and telling them he killed their daughters. He pushes her onto the couch and she drops her phone down the cushions. He flips her over on the couch and strangles her with one hand, and all while telling her he doesn't love her and why she didn't just let him leave. She dies and loses control of her bladder and bowels on a blue throwover. He wraps her in it and picks her up and puts her on their bed. So this is basically a little bit confusing and weird. I just read you the transcript of the actual confession, and this part he left completely out, but what irked me off kind of like is what I'm gonna read to you now. So Graham, and then did that happen with Bella right in that room? Chris, not in our room. Graham, okay, what happened? Chris, she walked in, she thought, Shanann was sleeping. Graham, did you take her back to her room? Chris, I put Shanann in that sheet. Graham, okay, and then what? Chris, carried her downstairs, backed my truck up. Graham, and at that point were the girls still there? Chris, assuming he nods. Graham, okay, so Shanann's in the truck. Then you went back to the house? Chris, got everybody back in the truck. Graham, was Bella first or was Cece first? Chris, in the truck? Graham, I'm sorry, so Shanann was first and then Bella was next? Was Bella alive when you guys got in the truck? Assuming Chris nodded by response. Okay, so what happened? Chris, they woke back up. Graham, okay. Chris, I don't really want to talk about this part, honestly. Graham, okay. Chris, those are my kids, my babies. I have to talk to them every night. Graham, okay. So I'm wondering why Graham or Tammy or Baumhofer did not go deeper into it when Chris said they woke back up, because this has basically nothing to do with it. Graham asks him, so who was first getting into the truck? Was it Bella? Was it Cece? And then Chris they woke back up. So was it true that he basically killed them in the house and they woke back up? Did he say it because it's true or not? This kind of was weird to me that they did not follow up on why he said they woke back up. So I put on the left side when Sarah said in her dream she dies and loses control of her bladder and bowels. This is what's said that Shanann did, or her body did. And during the ride, Bella said, "Daddy, it smells." So the next part of Sarah's dream. So he was wrapping Shanann in a sheet and Bella walks in. She asks, "What happened to mommy?" He says, "She's sick and they need to take her to the hospital." He packs the truck with Shanann and Cece's body first, and then puts Bella in the truck up front with him. They drive to Survey, and all the way he's crying and confused what the hell just happened. When he gets to Survey, he puts Shanann on the ground, cradles Cece, and carries her up to the tank. He drops her in. Bella has followed him with Cece's blanket. So his confession is, Bella watched him drag Shanann down the stairs and began to cry and said, "What's wrong with mommy?" He told Bella that her mommy didn't feel good. At that point, he put his lunchbox in the truck and then put both Bella and Celeste in the back of his truck on the bench seat. Shanann was lying on the floorboard. Chris, I took Shanann out just to place to the side of the place. Then Cece was first. She did have a blanket. She did have a blue blanket, a Yankee blanket. Then in Sarah's dream, Bella says to Chris, Are you going to put me in there like you did Cece? And Chris said yes. And that he's sorry. Bella says, No, Daddy. He opens the hatch of the next tank along. He picks up Bella in his arms, covers her face with the blanket. All the time he's crying and saying he's sorry and he loves her. He's so sorry, but no one will ever believe him that Shanann killed Cece. She struggles in his arms and he holds her tighter, putting more pressure on her face while she stretches, and then she's still. Chris puts the blanket down and kisses her head whilst still hiding her face. He carries her over to the tank and drops her in, then closes the lid. This is what he says in his confession. Bella, ask him in her soft voice, Is the same thing gonna happen to me as Cece? Chris, I didn't look. I think every time I close my eyes, I hear her saying, Daddy, no. And that was it. With regards to Bella's injuries in her mouth, Bella's head was twisting back and forth under the blanket while he smothered or strangled her. He could hear Bella grunt as she tried to breathe. He walked Bella up to a separate tank, opened the hatch and dropped her in feet first. Bella seemed harder to get into the tank than Celeste, but he just had to manipulate her a little bit to get her inside. He does not know why he put Bella and Celeste in separate oil tanks. So, and then back to Sarah's dream. He walks back to Shanann and starts digging. Now he rages at her for not letting him go, rages at her for forcing him to lose his children, rages at her that she's not NK, how she didn't let him live his life just to be him. When the hole is dug, he rolls her into the grave. So, and this is what he says in his confession. He dug a hole with his shovel and put Shanann inside. Shanann was not bleeding or cut when he buried her. He recalled Shanann's eyes were bloodshot. Shanann had not partially given birth when he buried her in the ground. Shanann was wearing a blue shirt, and a blue-colored underwear. So this is, you see the Yankee blanket on the left side. Was found in the house. This is actually a Frederick Police Department evidence picture. And so is on the right. You see the pink blanket he said he smothered them with. So that's basically not true. So in Sarah's dream, it's like when he dug the hole, he rolls her into the grave. He buries her and the sheet blows away in the wind. He walks back to the truck and stashes the pink blanket and blue throw over under the seat. Then there's an excerpt of the actual confession. Tammy, where did the blankets go? Chris, it wasn't like I put it in the trash. It wasn't like it was still in my truck. So that kind of is very, very weird that he is saying that, especially because Sarah said like he put the blankets under the seat of his truck, and he like saying, it wasn't like I put them in my truck, or they still were in my truck. So that's basically weird. So then the conversation Sarah had with Sherlyn Cadle. We don't know, but did CW tell Cadle about Sarah's dreams? Because basically she wrote her books about it. So let's see what they say. It's hard to read because somebody sent that to me and it was just a screenshot. So I tried to basically translate what they said. So on November 24th, 2019, Sarah sends Cadel a message. Hi, I just wanted to bring something to your attention. I had a dream of the Watts case before the second confession. XXX sent it to XXX. This is X'd out. I have the names. I'm going to show you in a minute. And she talked to Chris about it because of the things in there that he said nobody knew. I think he may be using my words. I'm not whacked or anything, lol. I'll send you the dream, it's long, but I think you'll see what I mean. Every time he speaks to someone, it was in my dream. So either my dream was scarily accurate or it's just being weird. What do you think? Cadel answers her. Did you have the dream before February 18th? And Sarah, she didn't want me to do anything. So basically, Cadel was asking her, what did they want to do with their dream? Did they want to forward it to Chris, or what did they want to do? So Sarah says, she didn't want me to do anything. I shared my dream with a girl called Nikki, and she passed it on to Mel, who inboxed me about it because she said it had things in it that Chris only confirmed to them, so his friends. On the 3rd of February, she posted that in the Facebook group. I then had another dream about the Watts case, and she said she would ask him to confirm some things, but then she went over to the Rusek side. Cadel, so you think then you gave him the idea of Daddy No? Why is she now with the Ruseks? Sarah, not Nikki. Mel and I don't know whether it's because it was true or if I gave him the idea. Cadel, do you mind sending me what you have? If that's true and he used your dreams, then I have to wonder how bad were the murders. Sarah, we do, although I still wholeheartedly think he's covering for Shanann. I think he feels like he drove her to it and he's guilty of her and Bella because of it. Cadel, Sarah, would it be okay with you if I didn't use your name, if I brought this forward, or would you rather I not? I'm not sure yet, but considering it. Sarah, yeah, you don't need to use my name if you don't think it's wise. Cadel, I just wouldn't want to put you through the backlash I've had to deal with because trust me, it's bad. So we don't know if CW, so that was in November 2019. So her second book wasn't out yet. She just had written it or was in process of writing it. So was CW telling Cadel about Sarah's dream? We don't know. So Sarah's dream says, when he gets to Serbia and puts Shanann in the ground, cradles Cece and carries her up to the tank. He drops her in. Bella has followed him with Cece's blanket, but we now know the Yankees blanket that was Cece's never was at the crime scene because they found it in the house. And on Reddit, I found something that was happening after the fact when Shanann Cadel brought out her book and saying Bella was alive. So on Reddit, they wrote, just flicking through YouTube and a live video by AD caught my eye. He's reporting that Shanann Cadel, author of Letters from Christopher, has emailed him with info from her next release. One hopes there is a real editor for this, okay? The new info that CW made Bella walk from where the truck was parked at Survey 319 up the ladder to the hatch of the tank where he smothered her. CW apparently carried a dead or unconscious Cece. Bella whimpered and cried, saying, Daddy, no, as she walked. So yeah, guys, I don't know what to think about this. I mean, yeah, did she use her dream or did Watts tell her about the dream? But back in November, I mean, it was November 2019, I think they ceased contact and they have never spoken after this again. But like I said, I'm not too sure. So you gotta make up your mind. Miss KJ, I heard there was 2 Yankee blankets, one for each girl. No, well, I don't know about a second Yankee blanket. So yeah, So let's get to the little timeline and you can make up your mind if it's possible for you or not. So I put together basically on the left side, you see the facts. That's metadata, routers, police reports, all put together. And on the right side, you see Chris Watts' confession, and we compare them. So the facts are, at 1:48 a.m., Shanann got home. At 2 a.m., Shanann receives an email notifier. Her credit card was declined, processing an automated payment for hair products. At 2:01 a.m., Shanann receives the last group text message sent by Nicole Atkinson, but Shanann never read that last message. So then there was no movement on the main floor until 4:23 a.m. when Vivian logs basement door opening activity. So I assume personally that Watts slept in the basement, woke up at 4:23 a.m. This is why Vivian logs activity opening basement door open. At 4:26 a.m., Vivian logs another activity, that's the garage door opening. At 5:18 a.m., Watts starts his work truck. At 5:27 a.m., so 9 minutes later, he backs his truck up on the driveway. At 5:39 a.m., Watts' Apple Watch connects to his home router. And keep in mind, Nate's security camera has a delay, and Watts was outside for 12 minutes before he reconnected to his home router, or basically before his Apple Watch reconnected to his home router. So since Nate's camera is not the best, you see him back and forth actually happens in a matter of seconds, and not like you see it, walking around like all chilled out and stuff. At 5:48 a.m., Watts leaves Saratoga Trail. So, and this is in the confession. At 2 a.m., Shanann got home, he says. At 2:30 a.m., they had a conversation and sex. They fell asleep, which is basically not true. So at 4:23 a.m., Watts wakes up, gets ready for work, does not prepare the kids' school backpacks. And remember, there was no movement on the main floor from 2 a.m. or basically 2:01 a.m. until 4:23. So when is this all happening, what he says? When is this whole conversation BS and sex and him going down, getting ready for work and getting back up? Here's a commotion upstairs. When is this all happening? So remember, no movement on the main floor. The main floor is the living room area, but they also have the stairs and stuff is also monitored. So it would have caught an alarm or a log or some kind of thing. So from 4:26 a.m. when he got up until 5:18 a.m., when he starts his work truck, he does the following. Gets ready for work, wakes up Shanann, has another 15 to 20 minute conversation with Shanann. This is what he states in his confession. Kills Shanann, rolls her in a sheet and covers her up with bin bags, and that would basically give him 32 minutes for everything. So yeah, I don't know. I never killed anyone, but I don't think that's possible. And keep in mind, the kids in the background, Bella screaming, crying, oh, what happened to mommy and all that. So no, I don't think it's true. So then en route with the kids in the back seat. At 6:29 a.m., Watts calls Cody Roberts 3 times. 6:31 a.m., Watts texts Roberts. 6:32 a.m., Watts calls Roberts. 6:32, Watts texts Roberts. Then from 6:33 to 6:35, Watts and Roberts text to each other back and forth. At 6:39 a.m., Watts calls Chad Michaels. At 6:41 a.m. to 6:43 a.m., Watts and Michaels send texts to each other. At 6:53, he arrives at Survey. So, and in his confession, en route with the kids in the backseat, he's like, didn't know what to think, didn't understand what he has just done, didn't think anything. Bella says, Daddy, it smells. But he did call, text co-workers, and what if one of them he actually was on the phone with heard the kids in the background? Or what if police would have pulled him over? Keep in mind it was sunrise already by then, you know? So everything a little bit suspicious. So at the oil side, Watts and Roberts text. 7:18, Watts takes picture of dashboard of truck sitting in his truck. This is the picture he sent actually to Nicole Kessinger because she wanted proof that he really is at work or on site. So at 7:30 a.m., Watts calls McCoy. At 7:40 a.m., Watts staged a message to Shanann. 7:43 a.m., Watts takes a picture of the oil leak. 7:43 a.m. to 7:55 a.m., Watts and Roberts text back and forth. And between 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m., the first co-workers arrive on site, Survey 319. So, and on site, what does he do? Rolls Shanann out of the truck, kills Cece, climbs up to the tanks, drops her in. Goes back to Bella, kills Bella, climbs up to the tanks, drops her in. Digs a hole for Shanann, which actually took him 20 minutes. This is what he said to the agents. Removes bin bags and sheets. I don't get my head around why he does that. I mean, why not just bury her with the bin bags and the sheet? So the bin bags actually never had any fingerprints of him or Shanann on these, but I get into this on another live. And the sheet he rolled her in was actually never taken into as evidence. The sheet you see is the coroner sheet, which she was transported in to the morgue. Then he does calls and texts to co-workers, takes pictures, sits around in the truck, fixes a leak, and is not sweaty or exhausted when co-workers arrive. So, I mean, yeah, you decide. I don't believe a word he's saying, so yeah, just read up on the chat. We caught two other loves, and I'm very impressed with this. Thank you very much. Thank you. Every question I ever in the lives I have gotten answered. Oh, thank you so much, Miss KJ. Thank you so much. Yeah, we just started. I mean, I started a YouTube channel, but I never was like uploading videos or lives. Just did never get to it really. But now, yeah, we're gonna pull that through. And I'm gonna do lives like hopefully every week. You know, I mean, don't punch me if I miss a live a week. But yeah, when I'm on holiday or something, you know, I do a little bit more, and I can do also other cases. I'm interested in other cases as well. I have like 30 Facebook groups or something and several pages. So if you guys have any suggestions for some cases, just give me a shout, you know. So TJ and Danny are superstars. Thank you. He's too busy on his phone to have done all these things. Right. Exactly. That's what I think too. Right. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm just in with the bullshit. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm watching other creators, but I'm just sick of hearing or listening to interviews of NK or Chris Watts for the 550,000 times. And it's just, you know, I'm not, you know, want to bash anyone or something, but I just wanted to do something different, because most people or many people, I have the feeling, don't know about this stuff, or they don't, have it not visualized in front of them. I watch several creators, they're really doing a great job. And, but to understand is, you rather see something or it's visualized for you, then you understand everything better, in my opinion. So I'm a visual girl anyway. So, yeah. Rebellious teenagers? What? Did I miss something? Love your timeline. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, the timeline, I actually can do a separate video because I put all the router logs, all her messages, all Shanann's messages from the Discovery and from Netflix, and I put all that in a timeline. And if I get new information, I add it. But I want to do a video about this. So if you guys are interested in a complete timeline video, I can do that as well, because I basically just have to type it up and present it to you because I have it already finished. I haven't heard anyone talk about what you guys have. It's so refreshing. Thank you, Canadian Mama. Thank you. So they were testing his handprints and his feet prints to compare the prints they found on the garbage bag. Right, Miss KJ. But the prints did not match either Shannon's or Chris's. So they run a database, they run them through the database, but couldn't find anyone with those prints in the national database. Okay, have you had some what the fuck moments by now? That's good. So we're going over to chapter 3, and that's basically Danielle's part. So I'm only going to be doing one part concerning the bloodshed eyes, but everything else I really rather want Danielle to do. Like I said, I have no clue about medical stuff or autopsy reports, and she just can explain. That's so nice. Yes, they did run it through national database, Jessica, but it came back with no fingerprints matching. So yeah, and they just stored it for comparison in the future. All right, then I want to play something to you guys. Question: did you see like eyes go bloodshot or anything like that? Chris: no.
Did you see eyes go bloodshot or anything like that? Okay.
So he did never see Shanann's eyes go bloodshot. He never saw anything like that. So then a few minutes later, did you notice, was she cut or broken or bleeding in any way? No, I mean, she had like the bloodshot eyes you were talking about. That was that at that point.
Did you notice, was she cut or broken or bleeding in any way? No, I mean, I know like the bloodshot eyes you were talking about, and I was at that point. Okay. Other than that, no.
So other than that, no. So 2 minutes before, he says, did she have bloodshot eyes? And he's like, And then a minute later, yeah, now that you're mentioned, yeah, she had bloodshot eyes. So who do you want to fool? So I'm gonna explain a little bit what I know or what Google knew and told me, luckily. So bloodshot eyes do not appear and disappear. It takes about 30 seconds for the eyes to fill with blood while being strangled. The blood also doesn't just disappear after death. So the bloodshot eyes will definitely stay bloodshot eyes. It's not like you strangle someone, he has bloodshot eyes or she, and then when you get rid of the body, you look in their eyes and they have, no bloodshot eyes at all. So it's not happening. It's impossible. So the signs of strangulation is the face is red or flushed, pinpoint red spots, petechia it's called, scratch marks, eyes and eyelids, petechia to the left or right eyeball, bloodshot eyes. Then an expert testimony. It established that the severity of petechia, an injury resulting from sustained pressure causing blood vessels in the face and eyes to burst, indicated the level and type of force used in strangulation. The expert testified it takes about 30 seconds of sustained pressure to produce petechia. So busted. Let's see what Dr. Burson, the guy who actually performed the autopsies, has to say. The eyes are moderately opacified post-mortem artifact. The irides appear brown. The pupils are equal at 0.4 centimeters. The sclerae are dull, although white. There are no discernible scleral or conjunctival petechia. So on the left side, I'm sorry if you guys are like, it's a little bit, graphic for some. So the eye opacified after death, you see on the left. This is what he says with eyes opacified. The sclerae is the outer layer of, I don't even know if I pronounced that right, is the outer layer of the eyeball. Conjunctiva is the membrane that covers the eye lines and the inside of the eyelids. So I have a little picture here, shows you exactly what it is. Then petechia shows in red spots and or bleeding of the eye, which you can see in this 3 little pictures. So the left picture is the eye starting to get opacified, and it's petechia, so red spots, same as in the picture in the middle, and on the right, that's really hard bleeding of the eye after strangulation. Right, why wouldn't it show up? What happened? Right. So he cannot just say, her eyes were bloodshot, or, now that you mentioned her eyes were bloodshot and no, it's all gone, or whatever he says, it makes absolutely no sense. So reading the comments. Does actually anybody wanna come on live with me and talk about this? You don't have to show your face, but just asking. So you're welcome if you wanna join, no problem. So I'm just reading up on the chat. I can't take NK's voice anymore. Yeah, same here. I can't. And what I also wanted to show you guys, but I forgot to put that in. It's like, have you guys seen when she left the interview room? Like that look she's throwing off to, I don't know who it was, Baumhofer or Graham or Coda or whoever it was. It's like, oh my God, that look is like, can I do something for you? Would you leave me alone then if I tell you this and that? And I'm such a nice girl, and I just want to smack the shit out of this bee. The drama is draining. Yeah, drama is draining, that's right. I haven't heard anyone talk about, thank you. The testing. TJ, have you watched the Son of Sam documentary? It has a lot of things that were going in the background. Jennifer, let me tell you this. The son of Sam Berkowitz, I was in very much tight contact with him. So, and after he had his heart attack, he's not calling that often and he is not writing that often. He's very ill. And I just wanted to say I have not watched the Netflix documentary about his crimes simply because I was writing with him back and forth for a couple, more than 5 years, 6 years. And I, just don't believe everything the media tells you, or just because, no offense, but not everything what the media tells you is right and actually happened the way they describe it. So yeah, no, I haven't watched it and I'm probably not gonna watch it. I don't know. I mean, he is a murderer, of course he is, and he is in prison for life and for what he did, and he deserves to be there, and he got to terms with this as well. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to say let it go, but people can change. They really can change. And I don't know what happened or why he did that. He was like in some kind of satanic cult and whatever. He's now a prison minister. So yeah, I wouldn't believe everything the media has to say, because just like with the Watts case, they say this and that, or in our previous life, we already explained what they do if they want to catch somebody, to please the public or to build up drama to make you all believe it happened like they said, but it actually did not. So yeah, please do. And that they run through national database. Yes, they did. I would love to see a timeline video from. Yeah, I can make that, definitely, Miss Kate J. I've never changed my opinion on her being in the back seat. Yeah, I have a different opinion. I don't think she was in the back seat, but yeah, of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Thank you. Love the way you explain things. Don't hesitate to tell me, slow down or say this or do that or whatever, Don't hesitate. I can take criticism, no problem.
Ich habe im Internet leider nichts zu Fund Original Profits Live.
Friggin'.
We are explain what they do is they wanna kiss somebody.
My friggin' Siri. Hold on a sec. Sorry, my Siri just went on out of the blue. It scares the shit out of me. And sometimes I do something and my daughter comes in and it's like, Siri, she catches up and she's like, oh, I haven't found anything what you want to look for on the internet, or here, look there, and here, this is the websites I found for your question. And I'm like, what? I didn't even ask you anything. So it's pretty scary, especially if it happens at night. Yeah, he contradicts himself so bad. Yeah, not only that, I mean, look at the timeline. I mean, that basically would have given him 18 minutes to do all that. Dig a hole, kill the kids. I mean, nah. Will you drive Jessica Parker and I do get NK's Prince tonight? Yeah. Right. Son of Sam doku is interesting. Lots of yeah. Right. Sarah Jane, yeah, I think she was taken out of the bag too. Yeah, definitely. No, it did not happen like they said. No, definitely not. Right. Yeah, I mean, according to that timeline, and that's just a little timeline I did, basically on what he said in his confession about the killings. So there's so much more, starting off with they saying, yeah, NK had the phone of a co-worker and she put her SIM card in, and that's why it showed up like, so basically the co-worker who had the work phone of NK before she had it did a search for Shanann. Makes absolutely no sense, because if she puts that in her, if she puts her SIM card into that work iPhone, how is that? How can this be? It's impossible. So I don't know. I don't know if she actually had anything to do with the physically killing their kids, but she definitely knew more. And I just can't get over this. I just can't. What makes me think she was taken out of the back, Claire? She never went in the truck, right? Do you think he will tell the truth? Probably. It's hard to say. I mean, he lied so far. I think if anyone tells him anything, saying like, "Oh, I had this dream," or "Chris, what about this and that?" and investigators go back in and question him again or something, he will tell just that. He goes with everything people tell him. So he goes with the crowd, basically. He just gives people what they want to hear, isn't it? It's like, but I don't understand investigators as well. I mean, I would be on this case like flies on shit, honestly, because like when he says they woke back up, why are they not asking who woke back up? What do you mean with they woke back up? No, they ask him about who was first in the truck. Who cares? I mean, and these are 3 trained CBI, FBI, or whatever agents. I mean, I don't know. They missed that opportunity really to ask him deep, deep questions, in my opinion. Everything I say is my opinion anyway. Yeah, Jennifer, that really can be. I don't think he will tell the truth until his family is dead. Yeah, probably. Lena, why don't they say NK did it and see what he says? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. She was at the sentencing, wasn't she? And she told somebody that she was smiling at him while he walking out or something. I cannot name sources of mine, but yeah, I believe that. Definitely. That was kind of really weird. I mean, on the side, it gives him 18 minutes in between texting and calling and digging holes and stuff like that. I mean, maybe it was stuck before. I definitely think, and that's Danielle's opinion as well, something must have went down in the lazy dog. I mean, there was a reason, probably not because she didn't like the menu in that lazy dog, so they went to the other. I think they just got it wrong where they would have met up, maybe with some people. What do you guys think of Troy McCoy? Anyway, looking forward. Muffy Dragon Slayer. That's a cool name. What channel? I want the link too. No, he's not. Definitely not. Definitely not honest. Definitely not. Yeah, Tabitha. Yeah, if investigators went back said NK getting married to someone that would make him talk. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, he's still in love with her. I mean, he's still, maybe she writes me in a different name, or maybe she does this. And just recently, I think he said to someone, was it Dave or something, that Dave, friggin' pedophile Dave, wasn't it? He was saying that to him, like, oh, she's writing to me under an alias or something. Yeah. I'm not a member on any channel. If I could become a member of this channel, I would do it right now. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, the member thing, that's like, I don't even know what that is, becoming a member. I'm not a member anywhere. I should try it out. But I read, because so many people send us messages like, can I become a member? And why don't you put the member thing up? And I'm like, what is member? I'm basically pretty new to this. So I read I need 1,000 subscribers, and I don't know if I'm far away from 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, share the shit out of this video, or out of the videos you guys like, and then maybe we reach 1,000 subscribers. That would be awesome. Soul sisters, yeah. Everybody on this case is basically a soul sisters, aren't we? Or soul brothers, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, Troy is definitely, I don't know. I mean, why would you? I've found in the timeline I did, and I was like stunned, because what I did was I took the coordinates of his geotabs and send it to my friend Mary, and she's like a Google Earth coordinate geotab specialist. I can never do what she does. So she sent me all the coordinates back, and I'm like, huh? Why would he park 8 minutes away from Anadarko that morning before he went into his office? That makes absolutely no sense. But she could, my friend Mary, she could pinpoint him exactly where he parked. And Geotab, I don't know if you guys have watched my Geotab video and how all that data stuff works. I mean, Geotab, they get you on the spot. It's not like they are wrong by 50 yards or 100 yards. They get you on the spot. So I don't understand why he parked on the opposite side of that building. So that really is weird. And then his times don't add up and all that stuff. Yeah. Troy's involved somehow, but don't know of all of the plan. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he just wanted to help him. I don't know. Maybe he killed everybody in the house, which I don't believe because of the dogs. And when Shanann relieved herself, like he said she did, then the dogs would have picked up that scent immediately. So there's not, you gotta be an hour dead or something. Nah. They would have picked up that scent, and they did not in the house, neither in the garage nor in his truck. So I don't believe they were dead in there. But yeah, maybe he wanted, I don't know, why would he go back, on site Tuesday morning? And also what Danielle brought up recently, and we went through all the friggin' historical weather forecasts of Colorado, and another YouTube creator mentioned that briefly as well, but I have to ask Danielle to give this YouTube creator credit for mentioning it, but I don't know, I can't remember his name or her name. But they said on Tuesday there was like a thunderstorm, and it rained from 6 p.m. Yeah, from 6 p.m. it rained really heavily, and thunderstorms going on. So Shanann was in a shallow grave. I mean, that makes no sense. You know, if she was buried there on the Monday, how can this be that she was like only how many inches? Not a lot underground. So, and this was really heavy rain that destroyed stuff and stuff. So I don't know if that's true, because this would have washed away at least the top layer of her shallow grave, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm no geo expert or something, but you know, yeah, something's wrong. I mean, yeah, what's a big lie, Casey? Troy Light.
Aha.
Yeah, Troy Light.
Ich habe leider keine Vorschau für
this
KC
freaking
Heiliges
Siri.
Offroad Journey.
Yeah, Troy Light, definitely. Yeah. I mean, when you look at that timeline, I mean, they arriving like 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. This is when they all basically start coming in, like Melissa and this little boy, their apprentice or what he was. And yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy in that little time span, you know, from 6:29 to 6:53 until he arrives. He constantly texts and calls people. So what if, you know, he would have reached somebody on the phone and Bella or Cece would have said, "Oh, Daddy, it smells." You know, makes no sense at all. Absolutely no sense. Yeah, next time, Danielle wanted to go a little bit deeper into the autopsy because there are some inconsistencies we found. And with the autopsies, it's like that, you know, the medical examiner basically operates on what the officers or the investigators tells them. I mean, they cannot tell if they were really smothered or anything. They just put, due to the circumstances and the way they were found and what the suspect tells them, they assume the cause of death is due to smothering, but they never really put, yes, we know for a fact he smothered them or Shanann was strangled or anything. So there are really, really many inconsistencies. Same goes with the coffin birth. So yeah, but I really have to wait on Danielle for the next time to do this, because I really have absolutely no clue about that medical stuff. Like, I repeat myself all over and over again. Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, Danielle is just an expert on things like that. So yeah, and I really appreciate. She was an embalmer, or is an embalmer, and yeah, she can tell you everything. I'm like, I don't even know if I pronounce some words right, but she's like spot on top of her stuff, you know, and she can really explain everything. This might be a little bit upsetting, the next video, because we're gonna show autopsy footage as well, just to make it clear to you guys, you know, so for everybody to understand it better. But yeah, if you're like getting upset really quickly, you might not watch it, or just, you know, watch it to fall asleep to or something and not actually watch it, just listen to it. But yeah, I think we'll be good. We'll be fine. Seeking the truth with Dave. Yeah, that, yeah, possibly it was on Dave's channel. Yeah, possibly. Miss KJ. And if he did all that work out there with Shanann and the girls, they said he wasn't sweaty or nervous or anything. Right. Just dressed different than usual. So strange. That's true. Yeah, he was not sweaty and nothing. He just had his, jeans tucked into his work boots. And then when they asked him actually what he did with his work clothes he wore, because he wore like a dark blue sweater or something. And when Officer Coda was on body cam and what's arrived, he wore a gray shirt, I believe. And he said to them he dumped it in that dumpster he was parking at for 4 minutes. But yeah, I mean, what do you do at a dumpster for 4 minutes? I mean, you just get rid of your stuff. And yeah, I mean, 4 minutes is long. It's a long time, 4 minutes, to get rid of evidence. I mean, yeah, and then what they did at Survey 1029, I can show you that as well next time. It's like, driving around on site, that was a little bit suspicious to me. I don't know why. And then obviously McCoy coming back on that Tuesday when that water truck guy is there. And he's like surprised. I wonder what would have happened if they would have ever asked to talk to him again when he didn't sign that statement or that report of the water truck guy. Because I personally believe he would have never ever said anything to investigators like that he was out there. So yeah, I mean, I'm not walking in his shoes, but why not do everything? Like, why not say in your first interview, listen, guys, he was weird. It was kind of weird. I thought he made me suspicious of something. It was just a gut feeling. And I just wanted to go out there and see, why not tell them, straight out? This is just weird. Body cam. I do get satisfaction watching. Yeah, right. Who doesn't? Like, who doesn't? Right. Yeah, I mean, that timeline is it's just messed up. I mean, the bloodshed eyes and all that. I hope I could help you with that, though. I did that on my own, and I'm so proud of me, because then Danielle was ill, and I'm like, man, I really want to do something about the autopsy. But then I'm like, all right, just do the eyes, because this is what Google tells me. So, but everything else, I'm a complete idiot about this stuff. So, yeah. And I can listen to Danielle for hours as well. So if she tells me or explains stuff to me about autopsies, it's just nice. And she explains so well. Even I understand. Right. So, yeah. I have the timeline stored, definitely. And like I said, if I come across something, I add it to the existing timeline. But yeah, the router logs. I also did. They put in the discovery. Yeah, it was in the discovery. They put his iPhone activity, like his steps and the walk he did and where he was at certain times and stuff. I put something together in the group as well, but I can do a whole video about that too, because then you basically see, some people say Shanann's phone was with him all the time and it was on. I mean, basically can debunk that, because there's absolutely no movement on her phone. And you see that because she also has the step counter. And those iPhones and iWatch I have myself, and I tried it out before I put it out there, because I always try everything out before I, tell people this and that, because I want to be sure. So these devices are really accurate. So they say, yeah, it misses a step or two, but it's basically accurate. So, yeah. Danny has soothing voice, makes you want to fail. Hey, fall asleep. Yes, sorry guys. Man, I wasn't sorry that I fell asleep last time, but yeah, I hope I didn't snore or anything. But yeah, I was just so tired. I had this bad stomach infection, like an inflammation of my stomach, and couldn't sleep because I was so much in pain. And I was up last week when we did that live. I was actually up for more than 48 hours. And listening to friggin' Lauren Arnold was just like, oh my God, no, I can't take this. And I couldn't even sit. Then I laid down on my couch during the live, and then I sat back up again, and I'm like, oh my God, when is this gonna end? It's not because of Danielle or something. She actually, made me awake again, and listen back to her. But then we went on with the Lauren Arnold thing, and I'm like, oh my God. And it was this officer too, Sentner. He's like, oh my God. He talks so slow and this and that. And then it just caught up on me, like not sleeping for more than 48 hours. So sorry. Miss Muffy says, Miss KJ, good idea. I wish we had you on the case instead of all these idiots. Did I miss something? What idiots? What idiots are you talking about, Muffy? Muffy Dragon Slayer. That name is awesome. I snore too. Oh my God. Yeah. Do you have an opinion as to when SW and the girls were buried, Karen? Yes, if you check out the live we did 2 weeks ago, I believe. Was it 2 weeks ago with the truck sightings? I think it was called The Witnesses They Forgot About. If you watch this, there's my whole theory on it, basically. So yeah. Wouldn't it be great if all of us get together and actually have the authority to do what the police can do and do things right? Yeah, you actually have the authority because the public always has the authority. It's just, if not, not many people come together and put pressure on them, nothing's gonna happen. So yeah, I find it good that so many creators out there, trying to put pressure on Rook and stuff. I mean, I'm not scared of him. I expose his stuff all day long because, yeah, first of all, I'm in Europe, and it's hard to sue me for anything over the big lake. But yeah, he can try. I have a lawyer, so everything I say and everything I do is my personal opinion. And I just want to educate people on that case because, if they lied, they lied. If they tell the truth, they tell the truth. And so do I. I mean, I just want to get people on who are interested in this case. I just don't want any misinformation because I see so many channels also, they do so much misinformation. And when you dig deeper in, I'm not saying I'm perfect or I'm never get anything wrong, but to investigate something, you gotta dig really to the bottom. I mean, and then you see it makes no sense. And I just don't want people to believe all that crap that's out there. Like, the truth is the truth either way. And if it makes the Ruseks look bad, well, then so be it. And if it makes the Watts look bad, then so be it. I mean, the truth is just everything that really counts and nothing else. I'm emotionally involved a little bit, especially because it's about children. I'm a mother myself, but I'm trying not to get too deep into the emotions. I see it as a case, and I just see it as a case, but I also know when to stop. It's not like, I bash somebody or something. I'm always a friend of people having their own opinion, no matter what. I'm not bashing anyone. So, yeah. My theory is that the children, that Shanann was probably unconscious. That's my theory. And that the children were taken out before Shanann got home. And if you watch my video or my live, I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, but we showed Nate's video footage. So, and you can see a car pulling up at around when Watts went out during the 111-minute phone call. You see cars pulling, or a car or a truck pulling up with the headlights on, and it stays in there. And then the same minute that car drives away, his phone connects to his home router. So I believe the kids were taken out during that 111-minute phone call and were maybe held somewhere else or brought somewhere else, because there were so many sightings of this white truck. And then what happened, I think it was an accident. I don't believe the kids were meant to die. But yeah, that's what I believe. I mean, I haven't dug into it to what had changed my mind yet in a significant way. But yeah, that's what I believe. I think they were taken out during that phone call. He got back. They waited for Shanann, probably knocked her out with some kind of drug, maybe chloroform or ethanol or whatever there is. And yeah, she was knocked out or even killed. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think. They were brought somewhere else. And you also can see the minute he is watching Nate's footage, he's texting her this infamous text like that goes like, "Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out," or something to that along those lines. So in that very moment, he's never concerned about his children. He's like, I mean, if he really was the dad we all saw, the caring dad and stuff, I mean, and he always said, "No, I did not kill my children. I did not kill, these are my babies. These are my life." I mean, not that I believe him, but, it's kind of weird, isn't it? So he made me feel like he knows where the children are, or, he knew that they probably safe and something happened. And also what we want to talk about to you guys that also adds to my theory is in the next live about the autopsies is Bella's injuries. I mean, Chris was kind of strong man. He worked out and all that. He obviously killed Shanann with no injuries and stuff like that. So to me, Bella's injuries came from the hand of a woman. This is, to me, as clear as day. But we will explain that to you in the next live, because there were more like spots and abrasions they had, which doesn't add up. And yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, I think this is the handwriting or handprint of a woman, I would say. Because if Chris held her, I mean, he would have held her like she would. I mean, this girl was 4 years old or 3 years old, 4 years old. I mean, do you guys really think she has the strength when somebody holds her head that she can, goes back and forth with her head? I don't think she can. I think this was a woman and Bella was fighting like crazy, and this woman was not planning it probably, or I don't know. I think, my personal opinion, those injuries are from the hands of a woman, because we're just not that strong. I mean, I'm not that strong. I mean, my daughter is 14 years old and she's pretty big, and I mean, if she's angry at me or comes at me or something, I mean, I don't know honestly what I would do. I mean, we probably same kind of strong, but I don't know. So yeah. See you later, Sarah. Good night, Sarah. Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, Jessica, just go back and watch the other videos. But from last week's live, just skip the last 1 hour, 10 minutes or something, because this is when I fell asleep and did not close the chat and everything. I don't think she was in the truck either, says Miss KJ. I don't see how she could fit on the floorboard in the truck not being pregnant. Right, exactly. I don't think, Jessica's saying, I don't think kids were part of a plan, but then he said he knew it would be the last time talking them in, and such a liar. Yeah, but don't you think he was just over exaggerating because he wanted people to see him as the monster so he can distract from somebody else? If that makes sense, you know? I don't know. That's what I mean by having the authority to do what the cops can do. I would have been all over trying to find out what the question was that she asked that made CW answer that way. Right. And even if she deleted it, I mean, if it was about cereal and unicorns and whatever, why delete that message? So I don't know. Maybe, I mean, maybe the kids were with her or were with freaking Jim or whoever. Why does McCoy park 8 minutes away from the head office? I mean, these are things we gotta explore definitely into depth. But yeah. Yeah, so we do the autopsy next time, and then I'm off for the next 3 weeks, so I can also upload some videos and stuff. But yeah, if you guys rather want to hear us live when we do the timeline, that's no problem at all too. It's just like, I'm in Europe and I gotta stay up till like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, so I can reach all of you guys. So I don't know. I still haven't figured out what's the best time. Is it Friday? Is it Saturday? Is it Sunday? I mean, whenever you guys available, I can make time. But yeah, I just wanted to reach the most people. Maybe NK tried to kill them first, and that's why they woke back up. Could be, right? Yeah, maybe that's in his mind and in his head, that sometimes I have the feeling when I re-listen and re-watch all the interviews, I think it's something in his head that he says, but then backs off and, change the subject. It's kind of like that. Same with the lip biting, it's like giving him, oh, don't say anything or don't say anymore, or, I think he just says what's in his head sometimes and then realizes, oh my God, what did I just say? And then he's kind of glad that they move on. But yeah, I would have definitely asked why, what do you mean they woke back up and stuff? I mean, yeah. Jennifer, thank you for your hard work. Whenever you go on, I will come. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really appreciated. I don't believe anyone was killed in their house, Canadian mama. Yeah, no, neither do I. Because if it really happened like that, she relieved herself and all, like I said, the dogs would have picked it up. Definitely. I mean, if that wouldn't have happened, I see dogs not picking anything up. But then on the other side, I mean, I don't know. And even the dog handler says, nah, there's no need to go upstairs. There was no dead body. So, yeah. You think she was drugged? That question of Jessica goes to Canadian Mama. Yeah, I do believe she was drugged or knocked out. I mean, keep in mind that message on 2:01 a.m. she never read. So, yeah, I think it happened fairly quickly once she got home. Maybe he was waiting for her. And also keep in mind there was no movement from when she got home until 4:23 when he opened that basement door. So there was no emotional conversation, and there was no him going upstairs and downstairs and getting ready for work and all that. It did not happen. As simple as this. And I mean, that's not even an opinion, that's facts. Because if it happened like he said it happened, like, why was there no movement? I mean, and why didn't he prepare the kids' backpacks? He always did every morning. So, and it was Bella's and Cece's first day back at school. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. Drugs, relieving herself. Where did that sheet go? Also, another question, where did all of the blood go from giving birth? I mean, from giving birth, it was probably in the sand or mud or, kind of goes into it in the sand is what, yeah, see, this is where we need Danielle again. But yeah, that sheet, Canadian Mama, that's something I really want to know where that is, because that sheet was never locked into evidence ever. And on body cam, we only see him bringing in the sheet the coroner basically used for, that was a liner to put her in, to bring her to the morgue. So where's the other sheet? And that rake as well. I mean, that rake looked like it was laying there for 50 years, all rusty and stuff. I don't even think that he used this rake. I think that was just some random rake somebody left there. Didn't look new or anything like that. I think it was out there for a couple days or years. You don't bleed after you die. That's right too, but when she gave birth, when she had that coffin birth, yeah, the blood and all that stuff must have went somewhere. So, yeah. I mean, it's kind of gory to talk about this stuff, but, like I said, I want to talk about everything concerning that case, so. Everyone thinks the sheet was brought in was her sheet. It wasn't. That was the transport sheet. Yes, you're exactly right. I thought that this was the sheet, and I was rewatching it, and I thought, hang on a minute, this can't be, because when he wrapped her in that sheet, then she wasn't decomposing or anything. So, yeah, it definitely wasn't that sheet. Also the bin bags and stuff, they found hair in the bin bags. Which hair was it? Where's that hair they found on the thief hatches? That's also another thing that was never taken into evidence either. So where's all that stuff? Hello from Sacramento. Ah, hi, Ridgeback, Gina. GMA, sorry. Yes, you're late. No worries. I'm alone today, so Danielle is ill. But yeah, I hope I did good and you guys understood what I was saying and explaining to you. Yeah, I think with the timeline, it's just the best to go with a complete timeline, and you're doing a great job. Thank you, Claire. Thank you so much. He had no problem giving her oxy. Right. With the oxy is also one of these things I just throw out now. I reread a message Shanann sent to somebody about feeling bad like half an hour after he rubbed her back. So what I was thinking is maybe she had an allergic reaction to something he rubbed on her back. You know, kind of like painkiller or some kind of cream or lotion or whatever, because she states she felt ill. It started half an hour after he did that. So there could have been something in the cream or lotion or whatever he used. Maybe she had an allergic reaction to it. Also possible. So yeah. Timeline. Yeah, Jessica, this is just a little timeline I put together quickly to just show you, you know, what's the facts according to data, and data is indisputable, and what he says. So just to visualize that for you guys. But there's way more, and I can actually do a whole timeline, or and compare that to his confessions or whatever he said, because then you see it even clearer. Right. You've gotten more than double live chat since your first live, so you're definitely doing something right. Thank you. I hope I do. I mean, you guys can also say if I do something not right or not good, or, if I'm wrong. Definitely, I can take criticism. It's no problem at all. I appreciate it, I appreciate all your feedback. And also if I can do something different. I mean, this is just the easiest way for me to do it with these keynote slides, because I don't like when I not see anything and just hear somebody speaking all the time. It's kind of boring. And those videos I actually watch only to fall asleep too. But yeah, everybody, likes something different. And if I can do something different or something other, then just let me know. Definitely, where did he get it from is what I want to know. Maybe she had it. I mean, this oxy and all these painkiller stuffs. I mean, these muscle relief, pain relief stuff you can buy in lotions. Maybe, I mean, let's be honest, guys. She had totes of medications and whatever in her basement stocked up, I mean, it's not far-fetched that she had some kind of muscle pain relief or something like that with her, and maybe she just had an allergic reaction to it. I mean, you can, with these allergies, it's like you can use something for 100 years and you use it again, and all of a sudden you react to it. It's not like you use it once and then you can have an allergic reaction. it can build up over time because body changes, isn't it? So yeah. See you later, Karen. Thank you. Thank you. See you soon. Yeah. See you soon. Yeah. You build allergies. Exactly, Jennifer. Right. So that's with me. When I had this stomach inflammation and I couldn't even walk straight, and then I went straight from work to the emergency room and they put an IV on me, and I never had an allergic reaction to any kind of medications or painkillers or anything. And she just mixed something together, to put in my IV. And all of a sudden, I couldn't see. I was like, my eyes were like, was like milk in front of my eyes, like these, like, I can't even explain it. And I called the nurse and I'm like, hey, is that normal that it feels like somebody put milk in my eyes? It's like really crazy. And she's like, oh no, you're having an allergic reaction to some sort of medication I mixed in. And I'm like, well, I was never aware of this, because that medication she mixed in liquid form, I always used for like when it's like a paracetamol or something, just for inflammation. I don't know, no antibiotics though. But all of a sudden, if it was in liquid form, I had a reaction to it and I still can use the tablets. So that was kind of weird. Leftover medications, right? Yeah. Exactly, Claire. Yeah. She had that neck operation. Yeah. So she might have had it, right? Or maybe also, maybe he had it, I mean, he was working out and stuff, and my husband's working out and he does use like these creams and gels for muscle pain relief when he gets, after workouts and stuff. Maybe he used that on her and she had a reaction. I gotta pull this message up. It's actually, I think it's in the Netflix document, if I'm not mistaken. I have it somewhere screenshotted, but I thought that was quite interesting because she says after half an hour, she felt nauseous and, all kinds of stuff. And that was stood out to me, that half an hour after he rubbed her back. That really stood out to me. Leftover medications, right? But he wouldn't say where he got it from. I mean, there again, he wouldn't say where he got it from. I mean, I don't know. It's this just overreacting again, make himself look worse than he actually is. Or I wouldn't say he actually is, because he is the worst, but you know what I mean, just to distract or get the attention of somebody else is very much possible, in my opinion. So yeah. I think, Canadian Mama, I think it was a text to Christina. It was quite a long text as well. It was definitely not in the discovery. I can't remember where I saw. I definitely have screenshotted it because I put it in my files. So that was quite a long time ago I came across this. And because I was looking for the chloroform and all that stuff, and then I came across this like in 2019 and I screenshotted it. I gotta pull that up, see where I have it. All right. And why did he say in an interrogation she wasn't supposed to be there? Right. Yeah. That's the question that's a major question. I mean, He did not say it once. He said it a couple of times. I mean, we brought a shovel. It took us like XXX time to get there. Why would she be there? She wasn't supposed to be there, right? Yeah, that's the big question I have not figured out. I mean, in the beginning when I heard that, I was like, "Huh? What did he just say?" But I'm like, I thought at first I thought he had like a split personality or something, where he some kind of mental disorder where he talks to himself in the we kind of sentence. I don't know. But then he uses it so often. And you can also see in the discovery and in his Wisconsin confession, when you read the report, every time he says us or we or something like that, they mark it. So they line it, they underline it, that he said that. So they have caught on that as well. It's not only us. So they found that suspicious too. I mean, yeah. And why ask, are you sure the kids were alive? Is there any reason you don't want to tell me the kids weren't alive and stuff like that? So, yeah, that's very, very, very weird. But we get to this. We definitely get to the bottom of this. No, they did not question that statement. Not at all. They let a million things slide, Jessica. Right. Yeah. Like I said in the start, when you read it here, where do I have it? Like here, Did you take her back in her room? I put Shanann in that sheet. Okay, and then what? Carried her downstairs, backed my truck up. And Graham, at that point, were the girls still there? Chris nods. Graham, okay, so Shanann in the truck, and then you went back in the house. Chris, got everybody back in the truck. Graham, was Bella first or was Cece first? In the truck? And then he says, they woke back up. And Graham, okay, I don't really want to talk about this. Okay, those are my kids, my babies, and blah, 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 blah. So if I was Graham, I would say, what do you mean they woke back up? What happened? Did you put them in bed and then they woke back up? So that's really, really weird. It's not only that they let slide, though. I mean, and people also think, Tammy Lee put this on him. Like I explained in the last live show we had, I don't think that was particular what she put on him, because she states in her report, they spoke about loads of cases. And I think he picked just from every case or from every conversation they had and from everything she told him. Like, he's running with everything you say. Yeah, you got to keep that in mind. So he just picks from every single case. He picks what just, fits his narrative, kind of like. So yeah, I don't even believe that. I don't think she put anything on him. It's just in his freaking head. He fabricated that story, and not a very good one, because, in his situation, he had to come up quickly with something. And then, yeah, why not blame Shanann and I just pick this and that because, yeah, she said so. And, keep in mind, he also lied to his teacher back then and was pretty proud of it, that his teacher believed his whole family was in China for vacation. And, he tells investigators pretty proud of himself that he, made everybody believe they really went to China, but he wasn't. So, yeah, he's picking stuff. And I bet you any money if one of us would write him and say something to him and, get his trust, he would come out with some other shit, because he runs with everything people tell him. And the real truth, he keeps to himself. I don't know why he's fooling everybody. Bye, Jennifer. See you next week. Yeah, I tell Danielle definitely. Yeah, that was a big whopper. Yeah, definitely. Tell your teacher. I mean, we all do like little white lies and stuff, but this is just, I mean, even if it's for fun, I mean, I don't know. But that, again, shows that he's not telling the truth. So if the biggest question is, so his confession was a lie? He couldn't have done all this in a span of 18 minutes? So what is the truth? And to find out, we gotta go step by step doing the timeline. And next week or whenever Danielle is all right again, we do the autopsies, because then you guys will see that so much doesn't add up from the autopsies. And I actually prepared my aunt's autopsy to compare to what Weld County did. So yeah, it should be very interesting. Hi, Catherine. You're late. Yeah, sorry. I did not really advertise that I'm live today because it was a little bit stressful. He was such a good, cute kid. Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. Well, guys, I'm hoping definitely I could show you something, and just to visualize, you compare a little bit. You can always go back, take screenshots if you want, and show it to your friends or whoever. And yeah, we definitely keep going with that. Like I said, I'm off for the next 3 weeks, so I might be able to do some more lives. But I definitely will try and find this message Shanann sent to one of her friends, and about when he gave her a back rub. And yeah, definitely next week I'll let you know. I'm gonna do a thumbnail anyway, and then I just put the link up. If we go live, I just have to talk to Danielle and see when she gets better. So I cannot promise that my next live will be the autopsies, because like I said, I want to do it with her together. But maybe if she's not well enough, maybe I can do something else in between. So yeah, definitely come back next week. Yeah, Bella's autopsy makes absolutely no sense, and they didn't even bother to get a cause of death for Cece. They just used the word likely. Right, that's so true, Brooke. That's so true. And they used that word likely or probable or probably. They used that quite a lot. They did not, I don't think they even did. I think they just took over the whole friggin' story and just took in what the officer or the investigators told him what had happened. I mean, I can imagine it's kind of hard. I wouldn't want to be a medical examiner, but yeah, what if this would have came to trial? He would have stand there, and he would have had to explain everything to the judge. This would have made him look like really stupid, in my opinion. I mean, the judge won't be saying, oh, most likely, probably. The judge wants facts, and so does the jury. in my personal opinion, if I was a juror on his trial, if it would have came to a trial, I would have never, ever said he was guilty, because there's absolutely no evidence for nothing, basically. They have like nothing. But he was just unlucky that he did not know they had nothing. So, yeah. But like I said, it's just my opinion. The time of death, yeah. Catherine's saying they don't make sense, and CW's confession doesn't line up with the time of death either. That's the point, Catherine. They don't even can say when was the time of death, That's kind of weird. But Danielle can tell you a lot of time of death in the next life when we do the autopsies, because she is saying you remember when I showed you the opacified eyes? She was telling me that you can even determine time of death roughly on the state of the eyes. So you definitely gotta stay tuned, guys, for that video, because that's gonna be really interesting. Yeah, follow the money, right? This is something everybody says, yeah. Definitely. 1,000 subs would be nice. Then I can do members. If I ever figure out what that means. I mean, yeah. That would be nice, definitely. I just wanna, I just hope I can educate. I mean, I'm digging, and if I get something wrong, I correct myself, definitely. But and I put you guys all the sources where I have the videos or the images and everything I have. So you just Google some keywords and you find the exact same pictures, and you can read up on yourself for yourself as well. So it's not like I'm hiding anything or something. It's all publicly available on the internet. So I'm not doing anything different than other people. He would have been acquitted. Yeah, it's my opinion also. If he had, it only takes one juror, doesn't it? I mean, and if they cannot make it clear that there's watertight evidence, they wouldn't. I wouldn't have said he was guilty of anything. Why do you think there was a cover-up? A cover-up? What do you mean, Claire, by saying that? Follow the money, right? Right. So who was responsible for cover-up and Rook, and who Anadarko? I personally don't think Anadarko had anything to do with this, because they are really, when I did that geotab stuff, I was looking in their policies and was looking around, and I don't think they are very much looking for not to get in trouble, because they always have to pay large sums of insurance money if something happens. So I don't think that was a cover-up from Anadarko. What simply happened, and I gotta tell you, I'm working with some death row inmates on their cases as well, and I always come across these shady DAs. It's just they want to satisfy the public, and they want to present somebody who is guilty in their eyes to the public, so the public won't go after them and the public is at peace. And that's the only reason. And they pat their shoulders, saying, oh, we solved this case in 2 days. Yeah, but you didn't really solve this case in 2 days, because there's no evidence. Like, and they only go, a good statistic is everything to them, and then they get promoted and stuff, and that's all that counts, really. They don't care. And I'm telling you right now, if they would have found something on Shanann, they would have went with that as well, just flip the sides and, let's say Shanann did it. Of course she did not, but let's say she did it. I mean, they would have basically crucified the Ruseks if it comes to that, because they don't care. They don't care. They pretend to care about the victims' families, but they actually don't. They're only after their own agenda, and it happens so often. It's unreal. It's really unreal. And I think Rook, he had the person he was after, and Kay, if she had something to do with it, she was not relevant to them. She was not the main person, This is what happened. They wanted him because he's a weak link. So yeah, we just grab him, convict him, make him confess. And also people confess to stuff they didn't do all the time. I mean, it's not uncommon. I mean, they really grill you, but I'm not talking about Tammy Lee and Coda and stuff. I mean, it was like they're having coffee together and went together to kindergarten, kind of like. But yeah, if you get to some investigators, they really grill you. I mean, they really grill you. I mean, this is no doubt. And that's all it is. Fame and statistics. And they had their man. That's all it is. I thought about stomach contents because CW got up at midnight to feed them snack, which is crazy. But depending what they ate, I think it's 4-hour window on digestion. Yes, he actually fed them pizza before they went to bed, which is like around 6 p.m. because then he was seen grilling in his backyard or on his little porch in the back, and the kids were never seen after 6 o'clock. So yeah, he gave them cold pizza, I believe I read in the Discovery. So yeah, that makes sense. It makes absolutely sense that the kids did not die. 6 hours. Yeah, it takes about 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours to digest something. Yeah, and all their stomachs were empty. So, I mean, I don't know if Shanann ate anything. I heard she did not. But the kids, I mean, I don't know. And all the sweets and cake and whatever they ate at the birthday party, I don't know. I would have to ask Danielle about that, how that works with the digestion and all that. But yeah, false confessions are scary. Yeah. No, Muffy, that wasn't midnight. That was when they came home from the birthday party. They wanted pizza left over or something. And he fed them cold pizza. He said previously he'd wake them up to feed them again at 12. Not sure about the 12. Okay, right. So what Brooke's saying, she's not sure if that was the 12th, right? Yeah. That bedtime was 6:30, right? Yeah. They were in bed 6:30. And then he was grilling the chicken breast or whatever he stuffed his face with. And yeah, the kids were not seen. But then I don't think the kids were in their beds either, because when Officer Coda walks in with him and they go into the living room area, you see, the kids made like makeshift beds or whatever they played and watched TV and stuff. So I don't even think the kids ever hit their bed that night. They might have just stayed downstairs. I don't know. And what I also was looking at yesterday, gotta show you guys this as well, is I am having a new program that enhances videos and stills and screenshots of videos. And I wanted to enhance when Shanann walks in, that doorbell footage. She has something on her phone and it lights up just for a second. And I happen to, right in that moment, I caught a screenshot of it, and I'm going to enhance this and see what she has on her phone. Because to me, it looks like she looks on a baby monitor or something. So that would be interesting to know. If I can, make it clearer and stuff, I cannot promise, but I try to do my best. So that would be really interesting to see what she had on her phone, what she was looking at when she walks in. I've always wondered why he don't see a toxicology report of the girls, if CW sedated them or not. Right, toxicology report. I think half of it is sealed, isn't it? If that's the one you talking about. I would have never woke up my toddler, no way. No way. Once they sleep, they stay asleep. No. I tried to zoom in on that. I had no luck. Right. And that's what I was doing yesterday, like for 4 hours. I tried to catch that second, and I did. He fed them again because he put them down so early versus letting them go at 8 or 8:30, right? Yeah, that is messed up. The medical records are sealed, right? The autopsy reports are released, unless you're talking about stuff they wouldn't release. But yeah, and that's another thing, Why seal their medical records? Why? What reason is, why? Why? What don't they want the public to know? I mean, the medical examiner did not find anything on their organs or, any surgeries or anything. Why seal their medical records? That is really weird. Toxicology had stuff in it, but nothing really of importance, right? The only thing they found on or in the girl's stomach, in Bella's stomach, I believe, and in Cece through her skin or spleen blood was, I cannot even name the chemical again, but I'm gonna tell you next on the next live with the autopsies. I went through every single component of crude oil, and I compared the chemicals they had in their spleen blood with what's in crude oil, and there was one chemical that is not in crude oil. But yeah, I gotta dig into that deeper. There's one thing that's not be found in crude oil, and they had it in their spleen blood. But I gotta talk to Danielle about this as well before I make any assumptions. That's the big question. Why? Yeah. Exactly. Always wondered why the medical records, right? What don't they want us to see? I mean, some certain things are not publicly available, and that's all right. But why seal kids' medical records? I don't know. There's something they don't want us to see. I can tell you why. They'd been to the doctor way too many times. Right. Yeah, Brooke, that's another thing as well. Like, it seemed to me, no offense to Shanann, but it seemed to me she was like going from doctor to doctor until she had the diagnosis that fit. I don't want to lean too much out of the window, but it just made me wonder, because she was always posting how ill the kids were, and surgery here and surgery there and tubes in their ears and stuff. Why haven't they found anything at the autopsy? That's kind of weird. I mean, not saying they didn't have anything or something, but it just is weird to me. It seems weird to me. Yeah. Oh, they definitely went to the doctor a lot. Right. Well, they had been to the doctor so many times. Not only so many times, like I said, I don't want to bash anyone, but the kids always had the same illnesses at the same time. So that stood out to me too. I mean, I don't know. I'm fairly healthy and my kids are fairly healthy. Thank God for that. So I'm not, I wouldn't want to walk a mile in her shoes. But that was really weird that the kids always had the same things going on at the same time. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's weird. It's just really weird. Hi, Robin. Yeah, the big show is almost over. We're just doing a little talk, a little chat. There's one thing that absolutely bothers me about Bella's autopsy, but I won't mention it or ask about it until you all actually talk about the autopsies. That's okay. That's okay, Brooke. Totally fine. Wasn't the autopsy just to find cause of death? No, because that was at that point still a criminal investigation and an investigation in a homicide. So then it's not like, when I die and, fall over and they bring me to the hospital and my mom or my husband wants to know why did she die, that they perform an autopsy. It was a criminal investigation. So that's the reason they did it. What troubles me is reading on FBI site, I saw that a closed case 3 years or older, the law enforcement can destroy stored evidence. I believe there is more info on the items they just didn't look for. Right, yes. They can destroy evidence. Yeah, they can destroy evidence what's not in further need of them. Yeah, I explained that in my last live. It's like some people say, yeah, he didn't get the phone back and stuff. This is true because they have to keep the phone for, I know that from an actually event that happened in my family, 2 murders, and I still did not get my family member's property back simply because they have to keep evidence. They have to keep it in case something new comes up or new evidence comes up. So it's perfectly fine what they do, that they don't hand out his phone, his cell phone. I've gotten more information here tonight I've got on any other channel. Oh, thank you so much. Even if I do just basically a little talk right now, not showing you guys anything, but just reading through. It's hard to read through, on that little phone through the chat. I don't see the chat when I'm showing you my screen. So I'm sorry, guys, bear with me, but thank you so much. Hi, Dave. Thank you for your support. Thank you. I subscribe to your channel as well because we have the same theory going on. So yeah, I was quite interested in your theory as well. Who has a nephew? Did I miss something? Congrats to the nephew. The only office that can stop it from being destroyed is the FBI. That I don't know of, Catherine, but in my family member's case, it was the sergeant of the police department does hold the power over the evidence, and he decides what is going to be released to family, what is going to be destroyed. And I can show you the email next time, where it actually said I asked for my family member's property, and he sent me an email that it has to be kept forever, at least for 50 years. So yeah, and 50 years is the time that they have to make everything public. So every cases that were sealed by a judge or anything, they have to make publicly available. They did not in the Marilyn Monroe case. I think there's still stuff sealed and people waiting for it to come out, but I'm one of them. But yeah, that's crazy. It is crazy. They basically can play with you. They can do whatever you want because you have no power, and it's hard to go against them. They're in power positions, that's all. Oh, Robin, congratulations. That's awesome. Awesome. The FBI is always involved when it comes to children missing. They don't do the actual investigation, though. The FBI always gets involved when children are involved in a crime or children are missing. Right. Thank you. Dave, you're welcome. Right. Okay, guys, I think I wrap it up. Already 2 hours. I'm really looking forward to see you guys again very soon. Like I said, I put definitely the autopsy up, and that date might move depending on Danielle's health. But in between, I definitely do something else. Like we can start on the timeline if you guys want. So I can start early on in 2017 if you want, when she searched for Shanann and Chris and Kay, search for them. So yeah, I can do this. So we have something in between. And yeah, we gotta rock this to 1,000 members. So I can do this member thing, but I gotta read up on that. I'm really clueless, sorry. But yeah, I really want to know what this member thing is all about. I think you can comment or message each other or something like that with that member thing. I don't know. Anyway, I'm up for it. It's nice to have. And yeah, and I would say I put up the autopsy. Like I said, that date could move or the time could move depending on Danielle's health. But I definitely gonna start up on the timeline. Maybe in the week as well. Like let's say maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then we can do parts because that's so much. I would just talk and talk and talk for hours and it gets boring. So I would do that in parts, the timeline, maybe monthly or, quarterly or something. Yeah. Whatever you guys wish, I do. Right. And then we get over with this Watts case already, hopefully. When he speaks, he has time till November to file his 35C. So yeah, we should be hearing a lot until November. Some more bombs are gonna explode. So yeah, but I cannot talk so much about it. but you'll guys see. All right, I wish everybody a good night or a good evening, and have a nice rest of your Sunday. And like I said, I put up the autopsy and do something in between, definitely. All right, guys. So talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.